center of your life. It is everything you hear, everything you see, everything you feel. It is everything you are. How would you know if someone stole your mind?
Arrest that woman!
Quaid.
Cut.
Get ready for a surprise!
We can't let him run around. He knows too much. They've got you bugged. I get a lock.
There!
The bug's in your skull. Take this thing out of the case and stick it up your nose. Don't worry, it's self-guiding.
Got him.
I lost him.
Welcome to Mars.
You got a lot of nerve showing your face around here.
Look who's talking.
They erased your identity and implanted a new one.
If I'm not me, who the hell am I?
He's got a hologram!
Welcome to Johnny Cab.
Drive!
Where can I take you tonight? Please fasten your seatbelt. I want Quaid delivered alive for reimplantation.
That's for making me come to Mars. You wouldn't hurt me. After all, we're married.
Consider that a divorce.
We hope you enjoyed the ride.
Now, help me out here, Doug. You were interested in a memory of,
Mars.
Yeah, Mars.
Bit of problem?
To be perfectly honest with you, Doug, if outer space is your thing, I think you would be much happier with one of our Saturn cruises. Everybody raves about them.
No, I'm not interested in Saturn. I said Mars.
Okay. You're the boss. Mars it is. Now, let me see. The basic Mars package will run you 899 credits. Now, that's for 2 full weeks of memories, complete in every detail. If you want a longer trip, that'll cost you a little more because it's a deeper implant.
What's in the 2-week package?
Well, first of all, Doug, let me tell you, when you go recall, you get nothing but first-class memories. Private cabin on the shuttle, deluxe suite at the Hilton, plus all the major sites, Mount Pyramid, the Grand Canals, and of course, Venusville.
Yeah, but how real does it seem?
As real as any memory in your head.
Come on, don't bullshit me.
No, I'm telling you, Doug, your brain will not know the difference. And that's guaranteed, or your money back.
Yeah, but how real does it seem?
As real as any memory in your head.
Come on, don't bullshit me.
No, I'm telling you, Doug, your brain will not know the difference. And that's guaranteed, or your money back.
It's not the real red planet, but a crew of researchers from NASA will pretend it is.
Imagine an opportunity to volunteer to be away from your family in an enclosed 1,700 square foot area for 378 days for more than a year with 3 other people in 9 rooms, including 1 shared bathroom. A common area and a small area outside that isn't really outside was made to look like the surface of Mars. Would you do it? Well, 4,000 people applied for the 4 spots to effectively be human guinea pigs, and these were the chosen ones.
Commander Kelly Haston, Medical Officer Nathan Jones, Flight Engineer Ross Brockwell, and Science Officer Anka Solariu.
Those are the 4 volunteers of NASA's Crew Health and Performance Exploration Analog, aka CHAPEA experiment, a simulated mission to Mars housed inside the Johnson Space Center in Houston. Yesterday, the 4 entered a sealed 3D printed fake Martian habitat where they'll stay for more than a year in the name of science. These are not astronauts. The mission commander is a Canadian scientist, there's a structural engineer from Virginia, a doctor from Illinois, a Navy microbiologist. Smart, accomplished people, yes, but these are volunteers offering to participate in basically an extended physiological experiment to help NASA figure out how people respond to being in an environment like a manned Mars space mission. They'll go through the motions of simulated spacewalks, science experiments, trying to grow crops, but really it's about their reactions to these things, how well they handle what has got to be a tough experience. The crew will have access to phone calls to the outside world, except the calls will have a 22-minute delay, which is what it would be like to communicate with mission control if you were on Mars. So, no sun, fresh air until next July. Everything, literally everything they do tested and monitored by NASA scientists. These types of missions are not new, but this is certainly one of the longest. Joining me now, space journalist Robert Perlman, founder and editor of Collect Space. He's been following the progress of the project since it was first announced 2 years ago. Robert, thanks very much for coming on the show. Appreciate it. So how do these types of experiments typically go?
So normally they're shorter. Normally they're 45 days in length or a little bit longer. They're simulated missions to an asteroid, for example. There have been longer ones. There have been a 560-day mission that Russia ran to simulate a full trip to Mars, not just the time on the surface, but the time to get there and back. This is the first time NASA is doing one this long.
Wow. All right, I want to keep showing not the 4. I want to show the house that they're going to be living in there. You know, what are they looking for in terms of the psychological effects? I mean, I'd assume that, you know, it's going to be really hard to be in there, right, and be living this way for over a year.
Well, the reason they're doing this is to learn what are the stressors that a crew would undergo on Mars. If you're locked inside a small habitat with only the ability to go out by spacesuit into the barren land on Mars to do some geology, collect some rocks, look at the sites, which would be absolutely phenomenal. But you have to survive with 4 other people inside for up to a year and a half. You have to find out what triggers them. Is it that you're eating the same thing every day? And you're limited to space food, not fresh food. Sharing a bathroom, as you mentioned. Even the normal things that take here on Earth for families and people who live together, you know, little ticks, little pet peeves. They want to find out how best they can put together a crew and how best they can provide them the resources to avoid those conflicts.
Couldn't they just watch one of those reality shows where they put celebrities in a house together and see what happens?
Well, it's funny, you know, there is a show right now about putting celebrities on Mars. And in some ways, what they're showing is exactly what these astronauts are going through. But the big difference is, and they're not astronauts, they're astronaut likes. Same requirements and same qualifications as real astronauts, but they won't be flying to space. But the real difference here is that they will be monitored by scientists, by researchers to really learn what it takes to go to Mars.
I got 10 seconds. They getting paid for this?
There is compensation offered.
As real as any memory in your head.
Come on, don't bullshit me.
No, I'm telling you, Doug, your brain will not know the difference. And that's guaranteed, or your money back.
And in some ways, what they're showing is exactly what these astronauts are going through.
Watch one of those reality shows where they put celebrities in a house together and see what happens?
Well, it's funny, you know, there is a show right now about putting celebrities on Mars.
the real red planet. It's not the real red planet, but a crew of researchers from NASA will pretend it is.